My name is Elin Hammonds, and I'm feeling kind of lost in life right now. I was a college student at George Fox University for over 3 years, and I even went to community college before that. During that time, I earned scholarships and academic rewards and was in the top 10% of my community college school. And that allowed me to transfer to George Fox University despite growing up in a low-income family and living with my parents. I started out at George Fox in the biomedical engineering program, and I was one of the best students they had. As part of our project, I had to build an oscillating air engine in just a few weeks, basically. And in the end, I ended up leaving engineering, and after hopping between a few majors, I ended up dropping out of college because it was taking me too long. That was not an easy choice, and I'm still living with my parents right now. I don't regret dropping out of college, but I'm at a point in my life where I feel lost, and I'm trying to get out of the hamster wheel and do my own thing, I guess. I'm currently working a good retail job, and I love everyone at my workplace, but I'm also trying to do something on my own. So, yeah, the biggest change in the last few years is that I was a Christian for most of my life, and I'm now 23, and I just recently lost my faith in the last several months. Through a period of inquiry, listening to the other side, I ended up losing my faith. And that led me to get into some very dark places. I was depressed, lonely, and I didn't know if life was worth it. Fortunately, I'm doing a lot better now, and during this time of uncertainty, I ended up getting a Christian counselor, and I was excited, and I thought she would help me out. And during that process, I realized that whenever I brought my doubts up about Christianity, she would just tell me they were lies from the devil and that they weren't really in my own mind, and essentially disregarded them entirely. She claimed that that was heartbreaking. I thought I met a counselor who knew me well, but when it came to addressing my questions of faith, rather than addressing them directly, she told them my doubts weren't even my own, and that demons were talking to me in my head. At one point she had mentioned, that we cannot tell the difference between our own thoughts and what a demon tells us. So when she ended up telling me that these doubts were not coming from me, they were coming from a demon, I asked her, well, wait, if you can't tell the difference between what a demon is telling you and what your own thoughts are, then why are you so certain that it's a demon telling me these things? How are you sure it's not just me? And she got quiet and ended up changing the subject. Obviously, I dropped her as a counselor after that, but that left me kind of in this weird place. Oddly enough, I actually got better when I quit visiting her and began to wrestle with these questions on my own. So that was a rough experience. I am a people pleaser by nature, and my natural tendency is I often worry about whether my videos will please you or if you'll like what I'm doing. And I have an unhealthy tendency to be a perfectionist and to try to do everything perfectly. But something I'm learning to get used to is to just be myself and to be authentic. And as I get older, and I've been through so much heartbreak and disappointment in the last year, I'm Now, one good thing that has come out of this tumultuous time is that I'm learning to have more self-respect and not to base my self-worth on what other people think of me. And I'm still a people pleaser by nature, and obviously I hope you'll enjoy this video, but I'm learning that I don't have to be, I don't need to be popular, and I don't need to be viewed in order to be content in life. I have all kinds of dreams. Ever since I was young, I was curious. Ever since I was young, for the longest time I can remember, I've always been curious and wanted to know exactly how the world works. And it's that curiosity, but unfortunately that curiosity was put in a cage by my religion, which was Christianity. I had all sorts of questions like, how do we know evolution is true? How come light from other galaxies is reaching us even though the Earth is only 6,000 years old, roughly, according to the Bible? So I ultimately realized that my faith was unhealthy for me. It did have benefits, such as it gave me a sense of community. I loved my youth group. I was an active part of my youth group, and I loved being a part of the church. I played on the youth group worship team. I prayed over every meal each night, and we went on rafting trips. We did everything. And I'll be honest, that's something I miss about church. I miss the sense of community that I had with my fellow believers. And the church is really, really good at providing that. And I'll give them that. So I'm at this awkward point in my life where I'm working a normal retail job. I'm hoping to get above that wage. But at the same time, I'm also being patient. I'm not really sure where this channel is going. I know fundamentally I want to help people who are in my position, being a Christian and being fearful and having doubts, to come out with confidence. I want what I want most for you is I want you to realize, like I have, that you don't need to be a Christian or to be religious in order to be happy and well in life. And something I hear a lot from a lot of people in my circle and Christians in general is that the things of this world aren't enough. They won't make you happy. But I'm learning that Christianity, I'm learning that religion takes away from the wonder and the beauty of this world. And rather than focusing on what's right in front of us in biology and evolution and cosmology, and just appreciating the universe as it is, it makes us hopeful and seek after a place beyond this life, which there's literally no evidence for. And that makes me sad. And something I'm learning is that the world, when viewed through a scientific lens, is actually more beautiful than the world viewed through a religious lens, because unlike religion, it's actually real. And I'm just scratching the surface. So yeah, I'm feeling awkward and at a phase of just, what do I want to do with my life? Is this YouTube thing gonna work? And I'm hoping for something else, I guess. So I don't really know where this channel is going. I don't know where my life is going. If this channel takes off, I have always loved learning, and I want to share that with the world. I want to share my love for learning with the world, and I want to help people who have been scared out of asking the tough questions in life and of questioning their religion. I want to help them. So yeah, a little bit on my background. I was raised in a loving Christian home. I was homeschooled, and I loved science ever since I was young. But during that phase, there's this internal turmoil would be an exaggeration, but this internal tension where I'm learning about science, but I'm hesitant because it's going against some of the stuff my faith was telling me and what the Bible says, and that was making me uncomfortable. So, yeah, I'll go over that in another video. For those of you who, one of the reasons I'm making this video is because I have a feeling that skeptics like me who claim they're Christians or are religious but have these doubts that they wrestle with internally and don't tell anyone about are far more common than most of us even think. And I'm hoping that by coming out myself, that I'll allow you to be more confident and encourage you to be more confident in coming out to your family and not leaving those questions off the table. Something religion wants us to believe, and Christianity specifically, is that you're not trusting God if you ask these questions. You're not, in general, it encourages us to not ask the tough questions, to live in fear, and to not, we are basically looked at as weird or almost shunned in a sense and scared out of asking legitimate questions regarding the authenticity of Christianity. And I don't think that any religion should be off the table. I don't think there's a sacred belief in the world, and I believe that every belief and religion should be questioned, and that beliefs that don't hold up to scientific evidence should be scrutinized, and we should not feel obligated to shut our mouth and to conform with what religious people think because their beliefs bring their life meaning or make them feel good. I'm tired of being afraid of talking to my family about this. I'm not going to be afraid to ask questions. I'm not going to be afraid to post my life on YouTube, and I'm not going to be afraid to talk to my family regarding my beliefs. And the moment that any ideology stifles that effort or tries to shame you or scare you out of questioning, that should make you question it even more. So overall, some bit of encouragement. If you're not sure if you want to live anymore, like I was at one point during this deconstruction phase, and you're having existential depression, I just want to let you know that it does get better, and there is life outside of religion, and you'll see it. Please just hang on. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I let myself down, or that I made a waste of my academic potential because I was such a good student. And I'm not depressed right now, but I'm just, to be quite honest, I'm just bored. I have this brain, and it's not being used for anything. I want to put myself toward a lifestyle where I can learn and talk with others about and have deep conversations, which I'm having a hard time doing with my family. And something, I think this is the last thing I'll mention is, and I'm sure a lot of doubters can relate to me, something that's been difficult for me is that whenever I try to have deep conversations with my family, they don't understand how I think. They don't get my points. It's not that they don't agree, but they can't even comprehend what I'm saying. They don't understand why I'm thinking the way I do. And this could be a little bit selfish, but in a sense, that's made me feel a little lonely. I love being able to relate to people. It's hard for me to find people who will relate to me as deeply and meet me on my level, because I'm a deep person by nature. And it's hard for me to find authentic, real, and just grounded, genuine, authentic people who I can have deep conversations with. And I'm sure some of the more intelligent people watching this video can relate. So anyway, I just feel like I needed to think and get this off my chest, and honestly, I need to get in a better routine regarding these videos. But if you are watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for giving me your time. And if you'd like to hear more about how my doubts have progressed, or how I think, and just more encouragement and authenticity, then feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called The Unsheltered Mind. I have concern, but I'm gonna keep moving forward. And my dad just got home, so okay. All right, like, subscribe, and thank you for listening. I hope I've encouraged you.